Hello.
Hello, hi, how are you?
Hi, Shreya. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, hi, hi. So I think a couple of them would be joining in. So I'll give a small brief and then we'll start off. Now,
Sure, no one.
yeah. So specifically, this is an activity that we were doing on Zoom and recording that and putting that on our Telegram back. Now we thought maybe we'll make it interesting so that people who are right now free and then interested to hear us, let them join in and then hear the whole interview session. Now, I'll give a small brief about what exactly your stories is. So, building community is all about knowing each other. All the people, all the members of the community must know each other, what they are doing, so that we can contribute each other back when there is a need. Say, for example, you are from, I think, University of Manchester, right? Uh, yeah. So maybe a junior coming in from University of Manchester. Maybe you can guide that person in the way forward. So that's what we are trying to achieve with this particular session. Now, Shreya, I think we'll start off with a short brief from you. It will be a 20-minute session. We'll start off with a small briefing and then we'll go from there.
Okay, should we wait for a few more people to join because I don't know if I can see how many members have joined yet or not. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, we can.
all right, should
Maybe
we
one or
wait
two
or should we
minutes we
start?
can. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Meantime, I'll also ping. Yeah. Shreya, I think maybe can we start? Maybe people who are free might join.
All right,
So anyway, the thing is like I'm recording this particular session. We'll be
all
putting
right.
that back on the channel as well.
Okay, sure, no worries. Yeah, sorry. So, hi
Yeah.
everyone, my name is Shreya Gupta. I am doing my master's in management in University of Manchester right now. So that's Alliance Manchester Business School. Currently, I am writing my dissertation and will be finishing my course as of 1st September, hopefully. So yeah, after that, I'm looking for jobs at the moment and I'm targeting some major consultancy firms and my career that I aspire to be in is marketing. So before this taking you through the whole process, I applied for Manchester back in 2019 and I got in within a month or so in February. But since COVID happened, so I had to defer my admission for a year. So after that, I got in here and I had a few other options as well. But I found Manchester to be a place which is vibrant, has diversity, and is actually a really sustainable area, which you'll get to learn more about when you come here because sustainability here is a really big thing. And honestly, many of you would like to take that as your career step ahead as well. So look into that because that's a very unexplored area and has a tons of opportunities out here. Following up on that, I came to Manchester. I had no idea. First of all, be prepared for the rain. So get your raincoats and your umbrellas ready, and don't expect the weather to be as it is. It is very subjective. Okay, so coming on here, you will experience a very big difference when it comes to academics because in India we have a very different academic system and we have assessments on a very different basis. Over here, it's you have to write essays, you have to do projects, you have to collaborate, and you will get to learn through the process. First, you'll find like why is this, it is tedious and all that. But I have gradually learned over the past 12 months that it will actually help me build my soft skills. And trust me, you have to start your process of applying, getting your LinkedIn sorted right now. When people say LinkedIn is a powerhouse, it is. Try that. It actually works. I actually got a volunteering project with a very big company here. It's a startup. But through that project, it was supposed to be a 1 week thing for me, but it turned out to be an 8 month opportunity. And I'm still in touch with them. And my mentors are people who have already worked in the fintech business for the past 20 years. So getting mentored directly with the through the CEO and other members in the team is a very big experience for me, and I've learned a lot through that experience. So after that, I would suggest one more thing that I have in mind would be that if there's nothing that you cannot do, just remember to breathe. There'll be tons of things you have. Like first month is going, you would know where this year went, but first month will like go off in a snap. You'll have a lot of festivals, festival, and all that. You can do whatever you want, but do go to the website, check your student union, and you'll find everything on the website. Talk to your peers, like who have been in the course in the past year. You'll find them on LinkedIn as well again, and ask them what is their experience, what are they doing, and what do they think that you should use to get yourself ahead. All right. So first of all, don't get into the trap that your nerves can get the best of you. So don't let them overtake you. Just remember to breathe. Yeah, that'll be my biggest advice to you all. So after this, I am opening the floor to questions, however you want to proceed. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. My first question would be, uh, like, how was your first 1 week moving out from UK and then, sorry, moving out from India, and then the whole sudden change that is happening to the climate, your ecosystem, your peers? How did
Yeah.
that take you, and how did you cope with that particular situations? What were the different changes that happened in your life in that particular first phase?
Okay, so the thing was, we were starting our course in September, and I decided to go ahead with my deferred admission in July. That I had deferred it already, but I was still contemplating whether I should go or not. So that's when I started the process. I know if you're late, don't think you're late. I was very, very late. I got my visa on the morning I had my flight. So I think that's the biggest roller coaster ride anyone could ever have. So yeah, following up on that, I think biggest change is that first I came up, the weather was very pleasant when you come here in September. Right now it's a heat wave, and it's supposed to be like that even in the next week. So if you're coming next week, it is going to be a heat wave. The weather is going to be pleasant for September, that's for sure. But after that, it will build up. So pack your warm clothes. Outside, you will definitely need an extra few layers, but inside it's really good. You can wear your t-shirts normally and get ahead with that. First week, so first and first, we had to do a COVID testing and we had to quarantine at that point of time. So that's not same as what we had. So the next thing would be that check out your freshers pages. You will find tons of fairs, student fairs, career fairs. Even for part-time jobs, you'll find many opportunities in the campus itself because many companies will be coming down. So you will have opportunities from tutoring to maybe some gig jobs because gig economy is big here again. So you can sign up with any apps or something, or if you work at some Glide, you can get into an internship for sure. But check with your I would say coordinator whatever your coordinator are, if they allow you to do that because you are allowed to work only for 20 hours a week. But internships usually demand you to work for 40 hours a week. So you have to keep that in mind when you apply for internships. So that's my core advice. And whether quick shout I'll answer.
Okay. I think there was a small connection issue at the end. I think we have got it. My next question would be, I think during your university days, you mentioned that you were doing a internship, or I don't know exactly whether it is an internship or whether it was. Uh, I think you're working with a NGO, if I'm not wrong. Shreya, you there? Hello, 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 Shreya. Can you hear me? Yeah, I think there was some. You're on mute, by the way.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are. You are. You are. Yes, yes. You're back. All right. So my question was like you mentioned that you're working for a charity, or you're working for an NGO side by side,
So,
or you're volunteering.
startup,
Okay. So
fintech startup based in London.
okay. So how was that experience? Was it part of your part-time job, or your internship? How did you get through that? You mentioned that the very special thing that you experienced there was like you got senior mentors who were really experienced in the domain, and that was really wonderful for you. So maybe if you can take us through that particular journey, how you got in,
Yeah.
what was your experience there like, what was the company there? If you can share that.
So, I basically know with him. I reached out to people there who were working at the startup opportunity, and that's how I took on. Like first, I would suggest like when you start your LinkedIn, just try to build a normal connection with the person, get to know them, get to understand what their job is, rather than just asking them that do you have an internship or do you have this or do you have that. Just try and understand where they are coming from and try to build that connection, like a human normal connection that you're not in it just for taking an advantage, but you're in it because you're genuinely interested, right? So I talked to this person. He actually was very forthcoming, first of all, because usually you don't find that forthcoming people here. But then he was very forthcoming. I talked to him for a few days, praised him that, if you have an opportunity, I would love to, try it and all that. So first I got turned down, to be very honest, because I was using the same opportunity because I have been on the other side, so I know that, it doesn't bode well when you don't start with genuine connection. So yeah, so start with genuine connection, try to hit the people and say, I'm just joining in. This is what I'm looking for. This is how I want to work in this area. So how would you suggest to go about it? What your 9 to 5 look like? Uh, if there's any tip or tricks, just don't go directly into it. So yeah, so I reached out to him, persisted for like a month or so, and then they gave me this project, which was supposed to be a week-long thing, but somehow because of the scheduling and how I proposed what I wanted the project to be, they gave, took me on board and took the journey through. So I worked with them for 8 months from October till May, and that's how it went. So I created marketing content for them, which they're currently using in their hiring processes and B2B clientele.
Oh, got it. Yeah, so I think that was your startup experience. Now, I think when you started off your conversation, you mentioned that don't come with a mindset that this is something similar to an Indian mode of education, I would say. So it is more or less practical or more or less assignments. So two questions on that. Maybe what are the differences that you face from Indian education to UK education, and what are the improvements, or the better aspects that you saw there, which again can be implemented back in India for such programs.
Okay, so the thing is, in India we have like directly doing question and answer thing. So, like I studied in GND, all right. So we would get a question paper. We had to do 5 questions. So I would study day before or 2 days before that. and just go and give the paper. Like whatever I studied, I read and done. Okay, so over here, when you come, you will have to write an essay. Okay, they'll give you a topic, you have to think it through, you have to give citations, references. So basically, you have to research a lot. You have to read journals, articles, and maybe some books, whatever bo- goes well with you. Like what they'll give you a reading list, you have to go beyond that. So you get very good at your research. Like you will know that it is not just Wikipedia. You have to go in depth with everything. You have to, if you are saying that this is this, you have to say that why are you saying this is this and what you think is making this this. If you get the idea, right? So that's the thing. So in India, we don't have that. You just study, cram, and give the paper next day. Here also, like one thing that's similar is that like when the deadline approaches, we work only then because there's like a lot of things going on. So that's similar, but I think you get a lot better on your research part and a lot on your critical thinking part, which we don't get in India. So that's the basic difference. Nothing more than that. But first when you come, you think, अरे यार ये क्या है? इससे पढ़ा रहे हैं, इससे क्यों लिख रहे हैं हम? It's all bullshit and वो सब इतना हम पढ़ रहे हैं and all that. But no, it actually by the year's end you'll realize how far you've come.
Got it. Okay. So my another question would be, what is the method of scoring for your examination, or how is the examination possible, and how to earn your credits and GPAs in your particular university? So how is the whole standard process there?
Okay, so since our course was completely hybrid because of COVID happening at that point of time. So all our assignments were online. So even if we were studying here, so we had to do all the submissions online. So we had to write essays. We had deadlines. But now when you come here, you will have exams. I have no idea about the examinations, but for the essays, we used to get a rubric. So they give you parameters and the scores. So you have to make sure that you complete all the parameters and all the scores and you answer all the questions that are there. So like a single question will have 5 or 6 aspects that you need to answer. So make sure you have everything listed and sorted out. Refer to the articles, refer to the lectures. We got all the recordings as well. I'm not sure about you guys whether you'll be getting all the recordings or is it a hybrid version or not. But for us, it was so that was a convenient part for us. So yeah.
Got it. So how about the scorings and all? So I think I don't know if you answered that.
So scoring is very subjective. I mean, it's again, it's on the rubric base, right? So if you complete all the parameters and according to the score, so say if they want to say citation, quality of citation, right? So they'll have like 5 parameters saying that good knowledge and you have done a completely well cited list, so you will get 3 or 5 or something. So upon based on the rubric, you get the scoring. It's really subjective. It varies from professor to professor. So
Got it.
that's
Got it.
about it. I mean, I cannot elaborate much on this because it's not like, 10 for this, 10 for that. Because if you're doing a report, say your report, you will get a complete guideline that your report carries 100 marks. The introduction carries 10, your main body carries 50, your conclusions carries 10, your citation carries 20, something like that. You'll already get that. And you'll also get another rubric which will tell you about the quality of the content you should write. So you have to make a mix and match of that and do that.
Okay. So this is something casual coming up. So how was your the life that you spent in your university, or the whole? I mean, I think it's been almost 1 year that you joined this particular university. So how are you managing that? How are you managing your studies along with your life in the university apart from studies? So, and also maybe if you had any kind of extracurriculars or anything of that sort going along with your education.
Okay, So for me, I wasn't working part time, so I had a lot of free hours, right, besides studying. So obviously you have a lot to do. You have a lot on your plate because you have to manage yourself. You have to eat. You have to cook. You have to wash your clothes. You have to wash your utensils. You have to clean your room. Everything aside, like you have to take time out for these things to function, right? So besides these things, there is a really honest answer that you have time. It's upon you how you want to take it. Whether you want to party, whether you want to work for a part time, or whether you want to immerse yourself. All right, I took the immersion part because I wasn't working here. So for immersion part, you have to be very proactive because no one is going to come and ask you, "अरे यार चलो यहाँ चल पड़ो ये event हो रहा है." You have to find it yourself. There are very good websites here like Eventbrite or maybe again LinkedIn. Connect with people. You will find many events here, networking events. Go to them. Join clubs. There, like for in our university, we have 400 student clubs. Join them. You will get to learn a lot. Also, one more thing that most of the clubs are for undergrad, but for postgrads also there are some. So you can create even your own club. Like for us, we created this project insight thing later on in the third semester. So we were like 15 people who were helping each other out during our process of hiring. And, we were doing peer reviews for each other for our CVs, for our cover letters. We did LinkedIn, again, verification for everything. And then we worked on how to work on Excel. Like if someone is good at Excel, he would teach us how to work on Excel. If someone's good at LinkedIn, he would give a session that you could do this to get your LinkedIn better. And if someone knows how to get good on Power BI, he would let us know about the basics of that, right? So it was like how to pool in your resources to make the maximum effort out of it. That's what we did, right? So you can create your own thing. Like it's up to you how you maximize your time, your opportunity, and the exposure that you're getting there. So just make the most of it.
Got it. So now I think a couple more last questions before we end this session. So, I have been speaking to a lot of recent graduates as well as people who are right now onboarding to the universities because the new intake is coming in, and the major pain point that the students face during their initial days, one is in accommodations and second one is in transportation. So, for your university specifically, can you share your experience with how you figured out that particular problem statement, and also uh, the second one that's in terms of transportation? If you can share some idea on that. Yeah, Shreya, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Uh,
you. Sorry for that.
yeah, no problem. So, did you hear my question?
No, actually, couldn't.
Okay, no problem. I'll repeat again. So I've been speaking with a lot of people or students who have almost completed their program, and also there are a lot of students who are upcoming for the new intake. And two major questions that these people are asking is, one is how to find the right accommodation for me, uh, given that all
Yeah.
the accommodation pricing is going 2x 3x times high. And second thing is when it comes to the
Just
yeah.
a second. Can I switch off camera because I'm traveling? I think that is why the connection is getting lost. So can you do that?
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so my question would be, first one is like, how was your experience in finding your right accommodation? And second thing is, uh, was there any
Okay.
transportation facility that you had to do while going to your university every day for your classes? So something on that aspect.
No. Okay. So the thing is, right now the energy prices in UK are a pain. So basically, our bills doubled during the last couple of months, and that is the reason the prices of accommodations are going sky high. So for me personally, my experience of booking the accommodation was painless. because I had no idea where I was going, but I had connected with a few people on the UM group chat that was made by the university. So a few girls from the university contacted me if we want to take an apartment together since we were all Indians and all that. So I went ahead with them and just gave the deposit for the accommodation that I found that I was, happy with. Okay, so first thing first, like for me, I wanted to have a washing machine inside my apartment because taking your laundry and going all the way to get your laundry done is a very big pain, and then you have to pay like 5 or 7 pounds per cycle. I think it's 7 to 10 pounds now. I'm not sure. So that's one thing. Then second of all, right now, like for me, and I'll share the details. For me, I was paying 126 per week for my accommodation, and I wasn't taking any transportation to go to my university because it was nearby. So I had like basically a 10-minute walking distance between my accommodation and my school. But for you guys, it could vary. So that's another thing. So go to websites like spare rooms, go to websites like I would suggest you even my accommodation. It's allied students. If anyone wants to go ahead and check them, please go. They are really good. Then you can also look into what other websites. IQ is very popular here. Then you can look into Unite Students. That's also really popular here. So yeah, like it could vary upon your budget. I mean, everyone wants to get a good accommodation. Like I found a really good accommodation. I'm really happy with that. But yeah, I mean, considering the energy prices, you will have to pay what we were paying. Like you will have to pay an extra 30 or 40 pounds because the energy bills are really, really high at this point of time. So yeah, and also keep in mind to have your council tax letters in hand and give them to the person you are staying at because you all are exempted from council tax for a year because of your student status. So that's another thing. So yeah, if there are any other questions.
Got it. Yeah. So maybe one last question that I have is, so I've heard that as students we'll get a lot of offers and benefits with our
Yeah,
student status. So have you utilized any of that? If yes, can you
yeah,
share some thoughts on that as well?
yeah, definitely. Go on student beans, go on uni days, go like student beans and uni days. You should definitely have it on your phone. Okay. So and one more thing, start booking your appointment for your bank account with Barclays or whatever you want to take because Santander doesn't give you a good bank account, a student bank account until and unless you've been staying in the UK. So that's one thing. Then another thing was you can book your appointment with Barclays with Lloyd because they'll give you your accounts like very fast, very quick, and then you won't have to wait for like a month or so because people were in waiting line for 3 months. And then again, your student discount. Coming back to the student discount part, there are a lot of them. Carry your IDs everywhere. And also, you will get a BRT here when you come. Instead of that, I would recommend you to have like a driver's license or maybe your Aadhaar card or something. You like get it here and use that as your ID wherever you need to give your proof of age. Because if you lose that in India, you can get it remade for very cheap. But once you lose your BRP, you will have to pay for like 30,000 or 40,000 to get it remade. So these are like a few tips I think that you should know, which I had no idea about. But yeah, these are the things, and just keep checking because all the major brands have student discounts, and Unidays and Student Beans are the major ones, which list all of them together. You can also look at Save the Student. Some newsletters are there, like Save the Student. Subscribe to them. They'll also give you great deals, and yeah, like your first week when you come in September, like there are amazing offers here, so make the most of them. So get your shopping budget also sorted if anyone wants to shop. And don't get a lot of clothes from India. Just saying, just buy them here because that's extra space in your bag, right? Utilize them in getting something that you think you won't get here. right? So that's another tip because clothes you'll find here amazingly well. And since you will be here, the weather is different. There's a lot more cold, so you'll need heavy jackets and stuff. So get them here. Don't get them from back home. That's another tip. It will save space in your bag and it will help you, get more important things that you want to function. Yeah, that's it.
Got it. Shreya, one last question that just came to my mind. So I don't know
Yeah.
whether it is relevant for you or for the working people out there. So I've heard that it is important to have the national insurance number or NI number
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I arrive at UK. So what is the process, or how did you get that? Or if you have that,
Okay,
how do you
so
get that? Maybe if you can share
you
some of the information on that.
apply online. Once you get your BRP, you apply on the National Insurance website. I think it's UK government.uk website only, where you get the National Insurance link as well. So you just go fill in a BRP details, and they'll send you a letter or something in some days. That that will work as your NN. So you have to give that to wherever you work. You will have to provide that because that will be linked with all the details. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it is more or less like Aadhaar for India, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, more or less. It's just for working purposes. So basically, people get their pensions attached to that. But since, okay, so one more thing. If you're working part time, they cut your pension. All right. So they say that they will give it to you when you retire or something, which is not required, right? So just ask them to not include your pensions and stuff now. So that money will not be deducted from your
Got it. Got it. Okay. So, Shreya, maybe any final words before we end the session for all the ones who are listening, for people who are right now planning for their new intake, who will be coming in within next couple of weeks. Hello, Shreya, are you there?
hello.
Yeah. So, did you hear my question?
No, I didn't.
No. Okay. Okay. So, any final words for the members who are listening, and also for the ones who are right now on their process to uh, come to UK and then settle down for their new intake? Any final words?
So it's going to be an experience for sure. And just keep yourself open from day one. Don't take too much time because at the end of the day, if you're coming for a master's, you just have a year. So make the most of it. Like you have very limited days, but you have to pack all the things that are here and take all of them in. And don't forget to breathe. And I know you're going to miss your families, but you know, this is something that you have got to do for yourself. So just take care of yourself because that is what is going to get you through. And no one's going to help. No one's going to come and ask if you're all right or anything. That's really honest, not sugarcoating anything here. And there are going to be days where you're going to contemplate if it's worth it or if it's not. But it's all up to you. It's all up to your mind. It's all up to your conscience. Just be prepared. Just keep yourself open and just let yourself out. Don't box yourself up because this is an opportunity that you won't get again. And make the most of it. That's it.
Got it. Okay. Thank you, Shreya, for that wonderful time. I think you've
I
given
hope it
enough.
helped everyone.
Yeah, yeah. It will. I think only a few of them joined for this particular session, but then again, I think we are recording this particular session, and we'll be sharing that also on the community so that more people can listen in as well. So once again, thank you, Shreya, for giving us the time and sharing the valuable information that you had uh, with your postgraduate program. And also, I think you're on the process of finding your next job in UK, and all the best for that hunting process. Uh, if you need any help or anything, you can reach out to our community if we need any help in terms of
Yeah,
there are
definitely.
certain
I
HRs.
have getting details already.
Yeah, wonderful. You're getting messages already. Great. So I think there are
Yeah,
community members
I've
like
already
HRs
messaged.
and yeah, I didn't get that.
Hello.
Yeah,
I just messaged Piyush the other day. I hope he gets back to me. Let's see.
yeah, sure, sure, sure. Okay.
And if
Thank
anyone
you.
wants to connect, they can connect with me on LinkedIn
Your
or maybe Sure as well. So
your
yeah.
voice is breaking up in between. I think I'm not able to
So
capture
I'm
all
just
the.
saying that if anyone wants to connect with me, they can do that on LinkedIn or just like
Yeah,
give me a message on
maybe
LinkedIn or maybe
you
put
can
a
drop in your LinkedIn on our chat as well after the session so
yeah.
that everyone can connect offline.
No worries, no worries. I
Okay,
hope this helped. If there's anything in your mind or anything you want to talk about, just give me a call.
wonderful. Thank you, Shreya, and thank you everyone for joining in and spending your time with AKIC. Have a good one. Thank you.